Hello. So we are at a very intense point in history, it seems, where the paradigms are changing and overlapping. And it seems that the paradigm of control and power structures and slavery and all of that are coming to an end, and the paradigm of reuniting with ourselves and the world is coming to beginning. But at the same time, I think that the paradigms are very non-linear because some cultures are already in those other paradigms. But it seems for the most part, most of this world is civilized and seem to be moving into a new phase of living. But it seems as though there's this huge paradox because it seems in a lot of ways that things are getting a lot better, but it also seems that things are getting a lot worse. So I'm thinking it may be something like a yin yang symbol where the bad or the opposite brings about the good, or the dark brings about the white, and the white, they're kind of interconnected. The bad stuff increasing and the good stuff increasing. And what I mean by that is just how so many people are waking up to the beauty of the world and are transforming themselves and people around them and the world. But at the same time, there's unbelievable suffering happening because of what we're doing to each other and the earth and ourselves. And it's really, really horrible. It's really hard to even it's really hard for most people to even acknowledge how bad it is right now, in many ways. And I, as I say in some of my videos, like, I think that it's important to be positive and be focused on creating the new paradigm, but I also think that it's key to acknowledge how much suffering is happening and the just insanity of our culture at large. And I guess I'll just go through a few examples of that. I mean, in America, we waste 50% of our food, approximately 50%. That's like, I want to say that's like, I want to say that's like maybe 20% of our GDP is just thrown in the trash. That's like billions of dollars. I mean, it doesn't matter that it's money at all. It's just food that we could be feeding these people who are literally starving to death in other countries. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, every single, as Charles as Charles Eisenstein explains, pretty much every institution in our society is built on these premises of separation and just horrible horrible premises that create insane systems like the prison system, the education system. Just it's very insane. If any system that you really look into in detail, you will see how insanely awful it is. Like the media system, how we're just being fed brainwashing material on the TV and stuff like that. And but as these systems are beginning to collapse, it's because people are realizing how futile they are and how stupid of a paradigm this is that we're basically still trapped in, but we're moving towards a new paradigm. And I think that the transition movement is a great model for transitioning out of the old paradigm into the new paradigm, because it doesn't force people to just like throw away their car and become a gatherer hunter. I mean, it's a transition period, and I think that it's crucial just to acknowledge. I think that just knowing the problems isn't enough to motivate change in some people. I think it's necessary to have a vision of the new paradigm, and I think that the transition town movement has that, and it's happening all over the world right now. And I think it's really important that we put our energy towards building this new paradigm once we realize how completely awful this uh, culture is at large. Mother culture is just fucking horrible. Like, I don't I'm not going to go into intense detail into it because you probably know how bad it is, but even the people who are saying how bad it is, it's worse than that. Like, the suffering happening because of this separation that is built into our mindset is just immense. It's impossible to grasp because it's so horrible. Um, but there is lots of amazing stuff happening, and I know that it is more powerful than the bad stuff happening. I know that in myself, and I've seen it trillions of examples of it, how it's possible to conquer this low energy, or whatever you want to call it, because in the kahuna shamans in Hawaii, they have no term for negative energy. They just call it low energy. Compared to high energy, it's just one spectrum. So really all we need to do is navigate our way towards the other side of the spectrum. I mean, it's more complicated than that, but it's interesting that there's no dualism in that sense. So I just wanted to acknowledge all the horrible stuff that is happening, but also the amazing change that we are immersed in and are co-creating, and the change is what we put into it. It's not gonna be a we stand back here and watch those guys change. It's like we are the ones we've been waiting for, as the Hopis say. Like, the change is dependent on what you do. So that's my message for today. Have a swell Tuesday. Peace.